10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds reserve time.
Back everybody here to your ESL 1 US qualifying coverage. I'm Tubby1.
And I'm the Capitalist.
And we are back in, well I say back sooner than we thought. We're into game number 2 a lot sooner than I thought it was going to happen. That was a rather good game for the North American rejects.
Yeah, flawless victory. Literally flawless victory.
Yeah. For those people that don't believe us, I actually put screenshots over on my Twitter and Facebook.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Actually, I don't think I've ever watched a game that has literally been 0 kills to the other team.
Really?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You haven't watched much Dota, Cap.
No, I've watched a lot of Dota. Hold on here. Hold on.
See,
that I can remember.
You gotta be careful with those things as casters. If you kind of say like, I have never seen this before, like, you've got to be behind it. Like when Admiral Bulldog suicided himself to Roshan at DreamHack, at that point I said those words. And I don't think there's been another broadcast where I've ever said those words ever again.
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't making a grand proclamation. I was just saying I've never seen that.
I haven't seen that happen.
I'm sure it's been done.
I haven't seen that happen to this EG roster.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that was a brutal whipping. Like, there were lashes, Ninetales, again, the cat off. Yeah. Bans are already coming out right now, and I was already got the unusualness of the bans to just see what you can push through into the early stages. Because right now, we have SK, Luna, Lycan, and Dream Protector being banned out in the first stages.
This is actually a lot more normal. The Lycan and Train Protector both being banned away is actually pretty standard against Evil Geniuses. The Sand King is a support that has actually gone into the banning phase now for a lot of teams that I've been casting anyway. They just feel that his ability to farm up the jungle is too strong. Now, I feel that there are definitely good ways to be able to punish Sand King pickups by running aggressive tri-lanes, but not every team is comfortable with that kind of play. So maybe just banning out is a little bit better. North American rejects here are going something really, really fun. I hope this is the Fnatic style pickup.
You mean like Enigma combined up with Disruptor, combined up with Nagasara, with
they're
like
getting as
Hux
much
and everything?
I hope they get either Darkseer, or Enigma. It's really just Darkseer or Enigma. Those were the two really big calls. So basically what this is Naga Siren leading into the sleep. They set down the kinetic field and static storm. As they let go of the sleep, they vacuum it inside the kinetic field. And then you have 4 heroes, maybe. If you're lucky, you get 4 heroes with the vacuum. If not, 2 or 3 that are stuck in there, silenced. If they don't have BKBs, they're out of the team fight entirely. It's a really, really just like wombo combo oriented lineup. Fun to watch, and it only works with the Naga Siren. There is no other hero who can set you up like that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they can get the combination out. Right now, EG thinks it's a combination with the Lich ultimate, so they will remove him from the pool, while Brax, he focuses his bans towards Arteezy with that 4th one, taking out the SF, and of course, I'm not so sure about the SD ban, but then again, you got Mirana. It's mainly because you got Bane and SD. Like, the options are quite open here for Evil Geniuses, so maybe that purge does lean. No, even then, that doesn't lean us towards something else. That could be whatever. It could be anything right now.
Yeah, I feel like the Shadow Demon is a little bit better as a support right now than the Bane. Bane, I feel, is too defensive for the most part, so even if they do pick up that, which they do for the Mirana, so they're going to get that Sleep Arrow combo, it's still going to be not as strong as the Shadow Demon, especially since you get the extra damage from Soul Catcher, is really, I feel, the biggest thing about Shadow Poison.
I was waiting in this matchup to actually see like Arteezy Zero Ranger come back into play. But with Naga Siren now, I was actually considering that, going, you know what, if you sleep, you can make sure at least one person is standing right next to her, and then all of a sudden, life is just hard.
Exactly.
Life is way too hard. She'll die straight away. So they need someone really, really tanky. I'm almost feeling like DK would be a decent option coming into this lineup, because you can run the Mirana safe, Batrider off, again Universe, and then just Bane protects on the top lane. You just look to get that pick off on the off lane. As we get another Nyx Assassin coming out here from the North American Reject, so that kind of squashes out the idea a little bit. The Darkseer, of course, was banned, but I'll try and run the offlane Nyx Assassin in this, or would you push him into something else?
Yes, absolutely. Evil Geniuses, you look at their lineup, you've got 3, now a 4th. Very, very squishy heroes here. Oh, this is so difficult to predict, too. When you have a Wisp pickup, normally it's like, you remember the old days where it was like CK or Tiny?
Yep. 100%.
100%. The only 2 pickups you can get.
Yeah, we saw it in Alliance earlier today. They played CK Wisp. They played CK Wisp again with the Keeper of the Light supporting. It was classico.
It was, but now this new generation of Wisp pickups is much more open. For example, Cloud9, they run Luna a lot. That combo is really fearsome. Evil Geniuses, though, they've been experimenting quite a bit with the other blinking heroes that we would bring up every once in a while, but we never really saw in action, which is the Phantom Assassin as well as the Rikimaru. 2 pickups that still have that blinking action to be able to combo, which was all that CK was, right? But so you still have that blinking action. The Riki is particularly interesting because I haven't seen it in an official match, but I know they've been scrimming with it. They've tried it out at least in 1 scrim.
That C9 were practicing a Meepo support, then I haven't seen them play yet.
Well, you know, practice into play.
Maybe that was just to understand the support.
It's gonna come up.
So you know what you're up against.
But the point being that Evil Geniuses, even though it feels like, oh, it's a Wisp, it must be only one of these a range of heroes. With Evil Geniuses and the wide array of already set out Wisp strategies that you can run, honestly, this last pick could be many, many different things. North American Rejects, though, I like the Nyx Assassin pickup because you got 4 really squishy heroes on Evil Geniuses, and it's a good counter to, it's a good soft counter to Batrider. The Spike Carapace, the stun. Mana Burn is going to be excellent versus every single one of these heroes. I think all around Nyx Assassin, yes, absolutely. If you can't get the Darkseer, or even if Darkseer was still in the pool, I think you would still consider Nyx Assassin.
As big a fan of I'm surprised you haven't been sitting there going, bring in my Tidehunter for the offlane. You're grabbing him instead. But we get the Viper coming in for the North American Rejects, so we've kind of shifted ourselves from going for straight up team fights into going for a huge amount of control from all 4 heroes of North American Rejects with a large amount of survivability as well.
Yes.
So EG's basically got the choice. Do they just try and kill off everyone possible and then melt down towers with a Wisp Tiny combination? Or do they focus more on the killing, grab the CK or grab the Rikimaru? The only choice I see right now. And Brax, he can't ban this. You can't ban out against this. The only thing I think he should be taking out right now is the Tiny, because you know at least then you've got a way of coming back. Actually, then again, if Rikimaru gets a good start and CK gets a really good start, there's no way you can normally come back from that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of really what would be the most
They take out the Riki.
I don't think Tiny, because Viper, the biggest problem with Tiny is that he gets kited around. It's why Wisp adds so much, is the extra added mobility. So a Viper, I think, is going to be a good counter to that.
Okay.
Morphling going to be picked up. That wasn't really in my list of heroes at all.
Yes, because he's not the combo hero. Like, this is a different style of Wisp. This is a Wisp that just buffs up the carry and makes sure the lane is successful.
That's why we see so many different Wisp strategies nowadays, is people aren't running it like they used to.
I remember at one point, Wisp was always run with Gyro. That Gyro's flat cannon got no. You realize, wait, he burns 2 seconds, there's your damage out, but there's nothing left to give. But with a Morphling, you can at least waveform in, and if the tether is with him, then you also get the instant slow, so you get more time to attack on these heroes, and then you can force out things like the Naga Sleep. It also gives EG an element of split push and surprise jump in, which is something that North American Rejects, like, they've got the surprise jump in part, but their split push is limited to Naga getting a Radiance. Seeking is actually playing the Naga in this game, so maybe they can reach that point. But that's their only major split push. Ancient Apparition ulti will be there, but you don't rely on that Corley as a split push. You need that for killing, for ganking.
Right. Now, the last pickup in North American Rejects was pretty greedy, going for the Ancient Apparition with the Disruptor.
Oh, there you go. That's the one you wanted to see.
Yep.
Game 1 was the first time on a record with the current roster that EG been held without a kill in a pro match. It's also the fastest GG call in a loss by over 5 minutes.
Wow.
That hurts.
That's pretty insane.
That hurts.
Evil Genius is setting records.
the wrong type of records for them.
Oh, man. So, okay, going back to the Ancient Apparition pickup, greedy. It's a lot of, like, you actually have a lot of damage here, but not a whole lot of stuns. But going into mid-game, both these heroes are going to be super powerful. And the Ancient Apparition here is also going to be a good setup here with the Naga Siren Sleep, allowing you to calmly set up a good Ice Blast. It's also going to work well with the Nyx Assassin, being able to allow you to get some global ganking power, so a little bit of added gank, but also the fact that it's going to be super powerful versus the Wisp Morphling, because the Morphling obviously changing in his stats, and the Wisp as well, trying to heal up his ally, both going to be counteracted by that Ice Blast. So I think that was a really smart pickup, and I don't think Evil Geniuses had the lanes to be able to punish them for it. So very, very smart last pick from North American Rejects here.
I'll see how well it's going to work in the lanes right now as we do roll ourselves out. Korok will be the Viper for the middle lane. Fogged, just sticking with him to give him a chilling touch early on. 1437 is sitting right on top of a haste rune on the bottom river, and he'll be babysitting, sneaking down that bottom lane. Universe again will be attempting this Bat Rider in the off lane, but it's going to be an interesting situation for him, to say the least. While Arteezy, he's actually been babysat by the Wisp. So we do actually have our Morphling Wisp combo. It's just thrown in towards the middle lane to give Mason his signature hero, the Mirana, on the top lane with PPD's Bane. So easy just to zone out Brax, and he knows it. Again, I don't know if this is just Brax's lot in life, that he has to accept the fact that he will never get farmed within the first 3 to 4 minutes going up against EG.
Ready, a little bit of harassment going down on now fortunately Universe can play pretty aggressive, I feel, in this matchup. I don't feel that Naga Siren Disruptor is going to be that scary, not until like level 4 or 5. So I think he can play pretty aggressive, but he's already actually abandoning the lane, feeling that it's not necessary. He's just going to go jungle.
Look at the respect being given towards the middle. Like, they just came in, there's a bottle already over on this Wisp. So Morphling is quite happy to take this early harassment, because he knows that Wisp will be there to save him. Obviously, he still needs to make sure he uses his waveform, so then, like, the regeneration comes 2 different ways, and they kind of also need to make sure this Wisp gets level 2, because without the balls as well, or at least overcharge, it's impossible to burn through, so you've actually got to walk forward and take the damage, and burning 40 mana on a tether really isn't that, hey, kind of style. Especially when that kind of stuff happens. Jesus. That hurts.
Yeah, you cannot go full agility in this lane. There is just too much constant harassment coming out from the Viper that it's super dangerous for you to put yourself that low. Of course, he's always got the waveform to jump back, and again, the regen's going to be coming out from the Wisp, but just one sort of, and you're going to be copping a ton of damage. So I don't really think the Ancient Apparition sitting middle here was necessary, though.
I think it's just to ensure the lane. Like, that's all they're really searching for here. They want to make sure that the mid, like Arteezy, didn't get up. Like you said it during the last game, Arteezy was a primary focus of the North American Rejects. They did not want him getting anywhere near powerful enough to contribute to the game. And that's the way Arteezy always plays. Like, he grabs a hero that wins the game. And normally EG draft for such a thing. But North American Rejects, of course, they know these guys very, very well. They're going to know what to predict here. And predicting a strong hero on Arteezy, what do you want to do for that? You make sure you shut him down. So you put a lane which he can't win. Even if you do sack yourself a little bit by doing this lane, it makes it worthwhile.
Fortunately, this is a big advantage right now for Evil Geniuses, is the fact that Universe can jungle, Brax cannot. Nyx Assassin can't really do anything about this really dangerous lane he's dealing with. It's a sleep arrow combo. That means Spike Carapace is kind of useless.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Arrow is going to be what's waking you up, so you're already copping most of the damage. If you die during that stun duration, you will not have used your Spike Carapace at all. So he's having to sit so far back, he's not getting any experience here.
I haven't taken my camera off this middle lane. Because I know you're right about Brax getting completely zoned out of the top lane. Sneaking is on this bottom lane just free farming. Now, I don't know if he wants to go directly into Radiance. Like, he's got Quelling Blade as well as basic brown boots and a Ring of Basilius. So he's still looking to keep this lane pressured out because he's still got this turned on. So if he can dish out some damage to the tier 1 tower, he'll go nuts for it. But for now, if he can get close enough to the 3.8k, he may as well just rush the Radiance straight away. But is that actually going to be enough? Because you're talking about like farming up in the jungle. Universe is now farming up a triple stack, and actually it's a double triple stack, just to make it even better for him. This is a huge amount of gold. It's a huge amount of experience. What's going to happen if you have a Naga Siren who's only building into a Radiance? Will that just be easy pick cost for EG and a quick transition into a victory in mid-game?
Yeah, honestly, I think if you're getting this kind of free farm, you do still need to go Radiance, but it's still going to be an issue as Evil Geniuses. One of the biggest issues with the Naga Siren is the fact that when you pick up Radiance, you're still super susceptible to a single target.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, if Batrider can get that Blink Dagger out of the jungle fast enough, then you can destroy on the Naga. Exactly. Should you be looking at getting drums and the Ring of Aquila before you then go into your Radiance?
Right. I still think you go Radiance just because of the fact that you farm so quickly. You become the fastest farmer once you have that Radiance. So I think you still get it. You just have to play passive during that time and make sure you get your basic stat items. Oh, Jesus. Look, I mean, constantly harassing Arteezy. Like, he's getting constant heals in this lane. He's still only sitting 11-4. Been forced back so many times.
They're running dual bottles between the two of them, man, just to make sure. It's dual bottles with tether to try and keep them alive in this lane. It's crazy, dude. Brax finally got some levels on this top lane. He came in closer once he realized the Bane went down to the bottom lane to soak up some experience up against the Naga Siren. And there's probably very few other support. Like, in fact, he's the only hero right now from EG that could really go down to that bottom lane and find the levels and still survive.
So looking at right now, Evil Geniuses probably looking to get really aggressive about the 15-minute mark. I don't think you lit the Naga Siren just farm up that Radiance for free, so expect Mirana to make some movement around.
Korok, he's taking a lot of damage here. With a waveform up too, they're going to have a crack at it. This could be the first blood, and it is. Arteezy, the patience will pay off. Now Disruptor, he came in too, and they're just bottling up and going to go again. Waveforms are cooldown in 1 second time, and he had to glimpse him back right there, but then fogged. He also comes in very, very close. Waveform down, the tether is still there. Chilling Touch gets some nice damage and the hold, but then Strength Morph keeping him up too is going to be the Wisp. And PPD was the neighbor just in case things were going to get rough. So not only does EG be very patient with their lane, they're getting no CS with, they also pick up 2 kills on a Morphling 6.5 minutes into this, one of them being first blood.
And even though it wasn't really a part of the gank, like it was just the Wisp Morphling, notice how PPD was already making those kind of rotations over. It's so common for Evil Geniuses to make early roaming. It's how their greed usually pays off because they just don't sit static in their lanes all the time. So now PPD is going to be heading bottom, trying to get that experience that's being pushed in, but already Snake King is taking down that tower. It was good denied by Bane, but it's still an early tower, early map control loss for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah. But at this point, though, I don't think that's a massive problem. If the bigger problem is the fact the tower was denied, because that means the bonus gold isn't kicking in as high as North American Rejects probably would have really wanted to have it at this point of the game. And what are you really going to do as the Naga Siren? You can't force the tier 2 tower because then you're going to come too far, especially with Wisp getting very close to that level 6. Sneaking can't keep doing what he's doing here. He wants to at least use his Naga Sleep as an offensive ability, as opposed to the defensive ability he'll have to use to escape a Wisp, relocate him with a Morphling.
Or the Batrider, who's about to grab his Blink Dagger. And just another 200 gold, so.
Okay, this is when Arteezy could be a little bit more cautious about the middle lane.
Yeah, they could have turned that. Korok, I think, should have turned that and started fighting up against Morphling. He could have kept him in that cold feet longer, mixed in with the Ice Vortex. They might have even been able to get the stun.
Oh, for the bottom rune's not going to work. Between these two guys in mid, though, dude, they're controlling now the runes again, and that was one of the things in game number 1. And I know I mentioned it a couple of times, but the control of the runes from the North American Rejects was really flawless. Now they're going to kill him bottom lane. So ensnare to PPD, but then again, did they just not get in range for the? Oh, he hasn't leveled it up. There's not a single point up in snare for sneaking, so he's just going on PPD, but there's no control beyond the glimpse. So PPD is capable of just running away. I'm surprised.
Naga Siren going the max farming build. Like, he maxes out mirror images before he goes and gets max level Riptide. That's pretty absurd. But he knows he's going to have
running
a lot of
in.
free farm.
Arteezy, he's really forcing this out with the bend of the haste rune. Trying to evade the rest of the damage coming out from Korok, and now Batrider, he'll jump in as well. He doesn't have the high movement speed to get close enough to him. He needs that lasso. Firefly over the tree lines. It's still there. Waveform back in again with the Wisp Spirit Balls. They're not in range, but Morphling's attack is. It's a double kill for Arteezy in the mid. Batrider reveals his Blink Decker for the first time, but never even had to lasso to get the kill. Another 2 in the mid.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That's what happens when you're running supports that have no disables between them. Like Disruptor, not really notable for being able to save heroes in those kind of situations so early on. And Ancient Apparition can only sit there.
There they go. Spike Carapace is up. Brax gets a double stun out then, even though the Spike Carapace did no work with the ulti on Universe. He'll die at the tower right now. Looks like the aggro was trying to be taken off there by Arteezy, but now he's got to get out of here. Waveform up. That's what you're waiting for with the countdown. And they just move back towards their tier 1 tower.
They just can't really punish the diving of evil geniuses. Like, Brax, he made a movement into this middle lane. It certainly helped, but most of the time you can't rely on him to do that. Disruptor can't be there. Naga Siren's going to be AFK farming, so your dual middle lane, that's the only heroes that you have. You can't rely on any sort of rotations whatsoever. So when a good
perfect.
How mad is Arteezy right now? Not only did he lose the double damage rune, died, lost the double damage rune, probably lost the opportunity to pick up some kills. Batrider going bottom.
Yeah, he's trying to go on sneaking, but then glimpse Universe straight back away, but there's still the arrow available here from Mason. He gets put into the wall with the Thunderstrike. Arrow is still available. Now he'll fly it out, but he got cut off by the Wisp. Either way, Disruptor will go down here, so it's a double kill for the Tentacle Surprise Man, Mason. And last 2 on Brax. No Spike Carapace in time, and finally they do get that one off. Wisp Relocate will take him back out to safety, and then again, there's a lot of trouble here for the Mirana. One chance to keep him up, and he turns for the last attack. A triple kill comes out for Mason. Viper now comes in the corner. 2 seconds for the lead. The Fiend Script has to be cast by PPD. Is buying the space. Morphling waveforms in, gets the kill, makes a replica so he can chase down 1437. The tether is actually then used on the replica, trying to get in front of him to body block it up and be successful. Wisp will take this kill, and EG now they are 9 for 2 here in game number 2 for the US qualifier.
It's looking like we're going to see 2 very, very one-sided games, and it's all going to come down to that game 3, because honestly, evil geniuses, again, that's what I'm talking about, that movement that they make. How many teams would you see making 5-manning into a lane before the 15-minute mark?
Not that many, dude. Not unless they're Korean.
They use that numbers advantage to be able to make their greedy drafts work, and it's actually also punishing North American rejects at the same time. That was a huge mistake by Snaking, by the way, who didn't pop his ultimate.
Might have to do it right now. The mid tower, mirror images, the AL is coming in again. He's looking for the hit on the Mirana. If he backs up a little bit further, the Ice Blast, he gets the chilling effect, but not the damage itself. There's no way really for that mid to follow up. Snaking can't get close enough to it. But at least he got the last hit in the tower. And that's now 3.2k gold on him.
Top.
They're coming in. It's going to be trying to keep Morphling alive. Just tether slowing and the range with the strength.
Wow.
They keep him up through all of this, but this now means they can turn. Korok and Brax as a stun over onto the Wisp. The relocate will take him back down towards the Roche pit. But more importantly, Morphling survives. They even use the Moonlight Shadow to protect them a second level.
That was an unbelievable play from Zai there. Like, I can't believe he actually managed to make that work. That was so surprising. Him relocating in, I was like, no way. He's not going to save Morphling. But between him being able to heal him up as well as just the really well-done body blocking, totally shut North American rejects down for a free kill.
Yeah. Especially a big kill like that on a Morphling. Like, Morphling still picked up an Ogre Club, so surprisingly we're looking at Morphling going out from the normal either Lincoln Sphere or E-Blade build, and it looks like he's going in for the BKB instead. Actually, would you get BKB, or would you... Maybe this is something different.
No, he's got too many counters to him right now. Between all the magic damage, you've got some stuns, You've got Static Storm is a really, really big disable up against the Morphling because you can't just always waveform away. You're going to get glimpsed back into a Static Storm, and then that silence just crushes you.
Big smoke movement coming north from North American Rejects, but unfortunately for them, Mason's already backed up. He did a little bit of damage to the tower, but he's just retreating because he knows that Morphling and Wisp are free farming up bottom lane. And while this happens, they're getting better trade-offs. Like Naga Illusion's about to come in and give him a little bit of a problem with a Riptide. Nah, they didn't even make it in time. And this Radiance is still not up. I know we're only 14 minutes in. The Radiance is still only going to take like 16 and a half minutes before Snaking can finish it.
Well, I mean, considering you're free farming your lane, you expect to at least have the Relic by now.
Yeah.
And building into the Radiance. So Snaking is kind of far behind, and that's because he died that one time. Like, remember, when you're stacking up on this gold, when you're free farming a lane, all of it's unreliable.
Yep.
So it's very, very easy to shut you down for a couple minutes with just one gank. It puts you very far behind.
Yeah. He's full greed too. Now finally he gets a point up in the ensnare. So there's some level of control he brings to a team fight beyond just the Naga ulti. But you notice too what he's not doing? Not spending his money.
Top tower is
He's got 4k gold and he can buy the Relic right now. And the courier's coming down south. In fact, all of North American Rejects are coming into their own jungle. They're looking to evict EG. Now, Universe is going to be the first one who caught out here. The stun will fly, but it misses. It was actually too short. The blink still happened from Universe. Observer Ward just around that Sentry Ward around the corner and Observer Ward. They finally de-ward out both of those. And North American Rejects, another gank has failed here.
At the same time, they stop Snaking from being ganked. That's really what Evil Geniuses wanted to do. What their lineup allows them to do is stay very, very well spread on the map, but also have a constant pressure on North American Rejects. Because at any point in time, this Wisp Morphling can kill you, the Bane Mirana can kill you, and also the Batrider can be solo going around the map because they have Relocate. So if he finds a hero...
Middle lane, found a hero, it's fogged, lasso him in, and Morphling just sits there hitting him all the time. They use Moonlight Shadow again, just to make sure they get away with the murder. And Wisp relocate, where are we going? We're going in towards the Radiant jungle where nobody is.
I think that was just a haphazard guess of trying to find somebody.
They're going to find someone now, 1437. If he waveforms in though, he'll be stuck here. And that's why, whoa, actually they glimpsed him back after the relocate happened. But there's still more supports here, more heroes around, so Universe just Design just tethers to Universe.
A smart little getaway. Snaking, getting close to that Radiance, but again, they have so much single target that it's hard to say once you have the Radiance, you're looking better because he's still going to be shut down just as much as he was before. He's just going to be losing less gold from it. He still needs two good luxury items here, and then even going into the late game, you're dealing with a very farm Mirana, a very farm Batrider, and a Morphling carry. Who is like the king of single target once he has that shotgun.
I think I'm with you at the start of that. Like the start of this game, you were saying it's going to be a slightly one-sided game going the other way this time around. You look at the golden experience graphs and you do see it like through and through. EG is so far ahead in this game. It's going to take a miracle wombo combo from North American Rejects, but they don't even have that. They didn't draft for that. Like we were talking about the Fnatic style combo, which is every bit of AoE control you can think you can get into one team fight, you pick for it. But this is Naga and Disruptor ulti and Ancient Apparition Blast.
Whoa, Zai.
He's found a corner though. Why did he really keep down here by himself?
He wanted to counter that. You see the counter wards he laid down?
Yep.
He thought he would be able to do that and get out in time. He didn't expect 5 heroes middle for North American Rejects. Like, who does? Right? He was like, I'm tanking up, I can go in. They'll know where I'm at. If I'm in the trees, I'll throw down the counter wards. They can't lay down enough damage to kill me before 12 seconds.
Trouble on top lane. Nyx Test are going to get the first hit and the follow-up stun. The Strength Morph has already begun though, and then waveform away to safety. Nightmare and Moonlight Shadow being used. Glimpse will be there, but he needs to get himself out of range of the tower and Invis, but he can't do it. The Ensnare holds him there. And Viper will get the last hit in. Sneaking also managed to get his Radiance halfway through the middle of that fight.
And that's exactly why he's going to be picking up BKB. He knows that the supports are actually pretty deadly. Like they're decent counters to the Morphling. It's just there are more counters going into the mid game. So I still think BKB is a very, very smart choice. It's in the same line of Morphlings who go Lincolns before they go their shotgun, right? It's just a good defensive item that's going to be able to protect you while you farm aggressively. It's the same exact thing, except for here, he doesn't care so much about Lincoln's blocking a Viper ultimate or something like a Glimpse. I mean, that's the one good ability is Glimpse. He would be blocking. Everything else is fine. And BKB is going to block Glimpse anyway, so.
North American rejects are coming out. There was a box basically drawn saying, look in this area here, before they came out. But they just find Mirana. So Nyx, stun, Disruptor, throws down the Storm, and there is just nowhere for Mirana to go from there. And that's another killing spree being taken off him, and more money being put into a Naga Siren. While in middle lane, they're looking over. There's a replicate over from the Viper. Oh, I've waited for this moment. I've waited for this moment. This is when Viper starts killing himself.
No.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Yes,
okay.
And I can't believe I didn't say this.
Not killing himself, though, Toby. It's just a permanent slow. It's really, because think about it. It's corrosive skin, but guess what corrosive skin gives you? Defense.
True.
So you're not really taking that much damage. It's just a permanent slow that's really obnoxious.
Sneaking, turns on the ultimate. They see Universe over on the side, and they see Zai a little bit further up. Universe probably the primary target, but then again, they know he's got 4 stuff away. But then how are you supposed to kill the Wisp? He just tethers away.
They had to go for Universe there. I had no idea why they didn't. He's the better kill anyway. Like, he's got a good amount of farm. You can shut him down from getting a BKB.
Initiation.
Yeah, they just didn't have Static Storm to set that up.
Yep. Now the AE ult is going to come in towards middle lane. This will connect on both Mason as well as on Arteezy, and they didn't finish up the tower. Now Lasso over onto Brax. They drag it back into the arrow as well. Well, where are we walking? Now we're back into the fight. TP, fight back. It's now Brax returning the fight since this Nyx assassin. He gets the stun only on the Mirana, and there's more help being provided. It's just that Wisp, the tether and control. They cannot find a worthwhile kill after this buyback. And Brax, he's gone out so far. There's 3 napalm stacks on this guy. Flame Ray pushing him down. Sneaking's trying to come over to help out his teammate, but waveform up. They get the kill there while Disruptor dies to the Bane, and looks like Mirana as well in the middle lane. Fiend's Grip being used for that. The mid-tier 1 tower is attempted to be denied. It's not really a lot of damage coming out from Fogged. And now PPD, up the timing, Batrider just blinks in, just take it. Underneath these Nagas.
Oh, relocate in. They're going to try and grab. Whoa, hold on. Zai just like. That's the second questionable one.
Activate tether.
Possibly
Activate tether. He might have got the timing a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
Either way, it's still 13-5 in favor of EG.
Yeah, they're still way far ahead. And what you're watching here, these team fights, that was actually 2 team fights in a row where you see a team that is inexperienced with playing with each other, having communication utterly break down. Both the Naga Siren
Korok's dead.
Yeah, Korok's.
Find him in the tree line, drag him down, and they're going to get blasted over towards Morphling. He waves in, and it will go to Arteezy. 1,700 gold on this guy who's already got the full BKB. Someone's seeing second item over on Sneaking. He throws the ulti out. They're tethered up. They can go on the Morphling, but they've got to kill off Zai almost at this point. The A-ult is coming in, and Zai moves down. He's still got tether available. Now he's locked in position. Nyx will get the kill, even committing Vendetta to do this.
And he almost tethered it away. Universe was positioning himself so he could tether over to him. If they had missed that kill too, that would have just been an utter failure. That's twice now that they've thrown down. They can't kill the Morphling off of that, by the way. That's the important thing about BKB. Is like the Naga Siren Sleep into a Static Storm doesn't work against Morphling.
And this also turns into a bit of a tower trade-off. Like the tier 1 tower is taking some damage for EG on the top, PPD. I'm surprised he's out this far, and I think the reason is because Universe is here, and they're planning on TPing in to defend this. There's no fortification, but they're coming in through the arena. Universe still sees there's 3 heroes up on this top lane.
Top tower is under attack.
TPs are coming a little bit too late. If he can get this lasso in, Spike Carapace should Wisp relocate. And all of a sudden, well, it's Zai again, just by himself. Flame Break will push him back. His Spirit did a lot of work there, and now the lasso back on 1-4-3-7. They take 2 kills. The tier 1 tower does go down the top lane. Naga Siren got that one. But two hero kills for a tier 1 tower when you're also in this great a position, it's worth it.
Yeah, the lack of movement there from North American Rejects, it was pretty obvious what was about to happen, and they just did not back up in time. There was no reason for them to be so far out after they got the kill, and the heroes that they killed, aka Zai, was already back up again. Like, there's no reason you need to be in that position because you just blew two big ultimates there, Song of Siren and the Disruptor ultimate. Game that you're already losing, you don't need to be past the fountain at that point in time unless you have those kind of team fight abilities.
The replica goes to work again. This time around, though, will not survive. And Morphling's just bailing out. There's too much fun to be had in bottom lane for Arteezy. He can't deny himself the joys of this. That's basically, with this creep wave and the next one, that's almost his Eagle song. Which means we're approaching either Butterfly, we're approaching the E-Blade very, very quickly. And heroes like Ancient Apparition will not survive long with an E-Blade on the field. Same with Disruptor. They're both very, very squishy for that.
Yeah.
But then again, with Ancient Apparition being 400 gold away from an Aghanim Scepter, he's not as squishy.
Yeah, I want to say it's going to be E-Blade here. I think it'll really abuse the Naga Siren.
Nightmare mid, they're relocating coming on Korok. They need to support him quickly now. And now with Brain Sap, there's a lot of damage, but there's a mech charge. Nice static field, but then again, Bane, he's just out of range, so he's holding Korok here. Zai will go down the AA blast, but Universe, he's chasing down the Ancient Apparition himself, dragging him back by an invisible force. Sentry Wars are dropped down, but Universe is already backing up. In fact, they're all backing up, apart from the Mirana arrow from Mason. Well, Fog was just Nightmare and standing there, but the arrow will still miss. And they're backing up. Morphling is still farming bottom lane. There's your 3,300. There's your Eagle song right now on Morphling. Long until they finally kill off Roshan. I ask you that, Cap.
Yeah, well, they've got that dire side advantage. Honestly, they can do it at any point in time here because North American Rejects are forced. The only thing that can really stop them right now is the Naga Siren Sleep. That's the only thing they have to worry about. But other than that, they have just forced back North American Rejects in such a defensive position that it's pretty much open to them at all times.
Very smart time for Universe to TP himself out of that position. At the same time, though, they kind of need him here on the bottom lane without his Firefly being on cooldown, without him being back inside of his own base. Ghost Scepter is already there for Morphling, so he's looking in at the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Need that gold, man. Gotta chase the monies. And with Bane and Wisp right behind him, he's going to feel very confident about taking this tower. In fact, North American Rejects are coming nowhere near this. There's fortification available, and they have triggered it, which means they've got to try and fight here. They can pull him back. The arrow's doing some scouting. So they're going to find the creep wave, but not actually hitting a hero. But there's your way back in again. Morphling, BKB just triggers. Adaptive strikes over on top of Brax. He's still got Ghost Scepter available, but with the A only going to miss completely. They may consider turning around. That Lincoln Spear rather quickly up for the Mirana. Also protecting as much as they possibly can Arteezy.
Yeah, as much as like we keep bringing up Arteezy, he's always split pushing, he's always farming up some other lane while there's action going down. It's actually Mason who's done a really impressive job farming so far. Like, this timing on a Mirana is exquisite. Having a Maelstrom and a Lincoln's by this time is damn good. Of course, he's got 4 kills to his name, but it's still impressive timing so far from Mason. And this just means, like, again, Morphling can be so far out with the shotgun and be full agility, but because he's going to have Lincolns on him, as well as the BKB as backup, he can play that aggressively and won't be punished for it.
I think we're finally doing it, man.
Yeah.
They're coming in. The E-Blade will also be purchased at the same time as they go inside the pit. And then probably Mason will sell the stick. Actually, would he be the man to take the Aegis here? Or should it be the Mirana?
I would say put it on Morphling. Just allow you to shotgun without fear.
Yeah. Well,
like, he's already got so many defensive mechanisms, but what's one more?
They just scouted out with the Naga Illusion, but the flame break came from inside the pit, but it's already too late. The top tier 2 tower's been pressured out there by sneaking, but instantly Mason's there to defend it. And EG, they're still being made to work for this. And they're being made to work hard. Brax moves up north, coming in with a couple of Naga Illusions, the AE ulti, rather deep, and Mason, funnily enough, managed to find the one little crevice in the tree line to allow him to evade that AA ulti, which is normally not like as big a thing in the earlier levels, but this is a level 2 AA blast with the Aghanims upgrade. It dishes down a rather large amount.
Look at the net worth right now for snaking. This is the amazing thing about a Radiance Naga Siren, that even though they're behind, and they're behind by a lot, like 12,000.
Maybe a little bit more right now. Universe going to jump in, gets the last two on 1437. Wisp relocate's going to bring in that Morphling. 1437 is out of Viper, controlled up right now by the Bane. Naga had to pop off the Song of the Siren, but the BKB is still there from Universe as well as from Arteezy. But Arteezy, his one will wear off and the arrow connects. Absolutely perfect from Mason. Great replacement into the EG lineup right now. He's playing beautifully. And they look to the tier 2 tower as well. They even managed to replicate a Naga Siren. So they got the Radiance to work for EG as well.
And even at this point, even if they did get Naga Siren to those next couple of items, right? It's going to be like Manta, it's going to be Heart, and potentially even a Butterfly. Even if you did get to that point, you're not going to be out carrying a Morphling with a Wisp, as well as Bat Rider and Mirana. That's just too much single target. Like, Naga Siren isn't the most amazing hard carry in the world.
I gotta be really careful right now. Arrow's getting on 1437. His control's not there, but the AE ulti, that'll be the death of Mirana right now. She's backing up. Oh, she will it be? Nothing else is really connecting on her.
It's an Aghanim's upgrade.
Yeah, so she'll die. In fact, there goes the tick right there, but the Morphling still up and fighting. In fact, back up again because of the Aegis model, but Frostbite able to go lift Cold Feet, holding him in position. Now pops the BKB and Strength Morphing up to 2.8k. Waveforms off cooldown in 6 seconds time. Strength Morph, Strength Tread Switch as well. Force Art from Universe being used just to get him a little bit further away, and they won't be able to catch up to him.
Brax had this really smart play where he was actually going up side by side with the Morphling, and he tried to land an Impale over the trees. He timed the BKB timing perfectly in order to throw down an Impale as the BKB went down, but Morphling was just too far away at that point. He did what he could.
It's a good thing Morphling took some sweet ass time to get back to base.
And of course, Mask of Madness. I mean, you already have the BKB, now you're not punished by picking up a Mask of Madness. Oh, somebody's gonna get pulled like 1,200 units.
Gonna be a nice little drag back. The question is though, how well is it gonna work? Like, you want to pull them back that far? You still got the Disruptor. You notice too, like at the start of every single engagement, 1437's been the man catching the initial brunt of the attack. Like Nightmare, Arrow, they wanted him controlled. They didn't want Static Storm to go down. They do not want that Glimpse to just drag back the Bat Rider. I know the BKB, obviously, it can't have any effect on him in that point, but if there's any time when Universe is not using that BKB, or he already used the BKB, had to pop it prematurely, he's got to be very, very mindful about 1437.
Level 16 up on Arteezy. He's getting a Yasha, soon to be a Manta. So his shotgun he's doing like a good 1,000 magic damage here pretty soon between the burst plus the waveform. So just some of the squishy supports, man, don't really stand a chance. Look at like Fogged. Like, he has an Aghanim Scepter and he immediately goes for a cloak. Just to be able to give him that extra bit of resistance. Same with 1437. Anything they can just to be able to mitigate some of the shotgun damage.
Yeah. He's got to get high ground soon though. Like, shotgun's going to be great for picking off heroes like that, but Naga Siren's walking around with Heart, BT's, Radiance, and 1700 gold. Like, we're 32 minutes in, and she's looking amazing as far as farm goes. Like, enough that in the later portion of this game, it could be carried through. And I'm looking at Mirana now with a second Mithril Hammer. So this either could be the BKB, or this is Deso and Mason realizing if they don't right now, and if they don't take the map control, there's nothing more to be had here. Now Glimpse dragging him back, Bragg, so he gets the sun off. The Connect, the field is out there too, and they try to drag him out with the Wisp relocate, but not fast enough. 1437 will go down, but for the price of a Morphling, Universe is right at just the edge of that Song of the Siren, but they cannot reach him. Not the worthwhile trade that EG was searching for. And now Korok, wait, what the hell just happened to, oh, of course, yeah, because he'll be coming back in again for the relocate.
He tried to save Arteezy. He did what he could, but honestly, Arteezy was just too far out, didn't react fast enough with his BKB. As he got Glimpse back, you have a ton of time to be able to pop BKB to stop the Glimpse or to stop the Impale that landed. Neither one did he stop. So that was just a small error there from Arteezy that cost Zai's life. But honestly, I'm not that optimistic about North American Rejects like you are. Even though it's an Naga Siren going into the late game, yeah, top net worth on the board, absolutely. But it's still, look at the rest of North American Rejects. You have a Viper who's going to be falling off. Like, your consistent damage is good, but your consistent damage also becomes less and less of a factor. So Viper's going to fall off. Nyx Assassin's going to be falling off. Ancient Apparition is always solid, especially with the Agneb's upgrade. That's awesome. Disruptor can also build into an Ags, but that's really his only upgrade as a support. There isn't a whole lot of extra growth in these other heroes as well. Good save with the Glimpse.
Relocate's coming in right now. And they're coming in even deeper, searching for Korok, and then the stun is going to hit on Morphling. He can't strike more fast enough, and the AE ulti really snaps him back. The BKB is triggered off from Mason. Searching for a little bit more of an opening, but Naga throws the ulti out. Now, that doesn't stop Mason from running away, because obviously BKB protects him, and he leaves just before the BKB stops. Not to mention, there's another possibility for a glimpse. If they can get him again, well, there goes the Lincoln Sphere being triggered out.
Dire's middle
Was that Ensnare, or was that actually Glimpse?
Yeah.
It was Glimpse.
So what I actually feel is North American Rejects, this is going to be their strongest time, because if we go too late game, we have Morphling start turning into an actual physical damage carry. We have Mirana getting a lot of items. Batrider as well. Batrider's actually already to the late game, man. Universe is a ton of farm for a Bat. But like those two other heroes will get stronger. This, I feel, is North American's Rejects' best opportunity. And Arteezy making 2 mistakes there, both times, not popping the BKB in time. It results in North American Rejects actually taking control of this map. They need to continue this pressure, though.
They don't get high ground, there's nothing really to be gained from it. I said, like, they're going to drop off. And that was the moment. There was 2 BKBs on cooldown and Morphling dead. But they were just being held out. There's still, I don't think North American Rejects have enough confidence to go high ground up against EG. 35 minutes into a game when your only majorly farmed up hero is the Naga.
Yeah. I'm okay if they don't go uphill, as long as they continue the aggression. So, for example, Snaking, he's in this bottom lane, he's spread out his illusions all over the place. At this bottom lane, he should pop another illusion, and then he can teleport top. Because he's got the boots of travel, so he can slow down this push bottom, he can slow down the push middle, and they can 5-man into the tier 2. Gaining themselves, so preventing any sort of trade while gaining a tier 2.
Do you still agree with the mana style over here on Sneaking?
I do. It's usually the best item for a Naga Siren once you have Radiance. I don't think you can really go much else.
That's what I was like wondering about. Like, is he just going to have to get rid of it later on? Well, then again, he'll probably just get rid of drums. Mana style will be a lot more effective than drums later on. Because I'm just thinking that if he is really considering taking this to late game, then he's going to need something more than a mana style at the end.
Yeah.
Like
he'll sell his bottle for a butterfly, and then sell drums for... I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure what your last item is.
I in this case, would just go complete life points and grab myself a Skadi and just try and survive that way.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Look at him just farm up. These mirror images so efficiently just mowing through the jungle. His net worth at 2,200, 22,000.
Yeah. It's, again, Naga Siren, once you have the Radiance, you become the fastest farming carry in the game because you can farm up 4 different areas in the map. You get a Manta, you're farming up 6 different areas in the map. I
do, though, still feel the irony of it all, that Morphling can take you and turn you.
Yes.
That's...
The problem with Naga Siren going into the late game is that your spread damage, like think about what the whole entire strategy is, which is Radiance on illusions. That's good for being able to farm up, but when it comes down to team fights, what does that really do for you? It's not like the illusions are giving you extra damage. It's still the same old Radiance burn. That Radiance burn does less and less going into the late game. It's always strong, but it becomes less and less of a factor. So then you have to actually start turning into your right clicks for Naga Siren, and that depends heavily upon control, which is something that North American Rejects do not have the most of. Like, you need some really good controlling abilities for you to be able to utilize the mirror images to be able to right click and single target focus down a hero. And I don't see him being able to do that to mobile heroes like Mirana and Morphling, especially with a Wisp attached.
Yeah. I agree 100% with you, and the times are going to get rougher for North American Rejects. The full Manta is now done on the Morphling, and you've got a full Mjolnir also up on the Mirana. So their damage output's quite high. Even Bane is building in towards having that BKB, and they've been purposely giving him space on the lane so PPD can get that level of farm. Whispers also, he had the same thing. He had top lane farm all to himself. They're trying to get the pipe up and running for EG, and the way to do it is on Zai.
Right.
So they make it so that Wisp just doesn't instantly disintegrate during the middle of fights. Now bottom lane, Naga Sleep's gone, PPD, he's on the edge of it right now, and he got caught. Is there enough help? Sneaking, one-on-one. There's Nightmare still available too. PPD did it for just a short duration, but Naga still gets the last hit in. Bane on the sidelines. Luckily, they're going to really kill a Fog. Waveform down, they got him. And now Sneaking. Oh, he's actually managed to strand him here. BKB, this time Morphling will be able to trigger it off. His Waveform's on cooldown for another 3 seconds. Shotgun, it's about to come back off as well. He's out of mana. He tried to switch to Intel Trash, but then Naga just goes straight in for the Riptide. They lost 2 there to pick up the Ancient Apparition.
Evil geniuses, they've been making some very uncharacteristic mistakes so far. That jump middle.
They got another one. Blink away, Universe, he's getting greedy to try and farm this one. 4-star down as well, just out of range now. The arrow will connect on Korok, but this isn't the time you want to be turning in to fight this. In fact, he's got to. The glimpse is there, Universe into the BKB. Really getting slowed down though. He's trying to run it out. 4-star's coming off cooldown, so is the Blink Dagger.
That's perfect, run down middle. Like, they didn't get the Bat Rider, that's fine. They blew a BKB on him. They're not going to go middle just yet. They're going to try and pick up Roshan first. I'm not quite sure that Aegis is the better advantage than...
I'm not quite sure they can finish this.
At least forcing buyback on Morphling.
I'm not sure they can do this. You've still got a Bat Rider and a Mirana Arrow.
Unfortunately, the large share of your damage on Naga Siren is illusions. That does not work against Roshan.
It's true.
You know? So it's like, well, I'm only hitting for not even 250 damage a hit on Naga Siren. If it was old Naga Siren of old critical days, sure. Better late game carry back then, but...
Yeah, not this version of Naga.
Not this version. So, okay.
Diffusal Blade.
Interesting.
He didn't buy level 2 straight away either, which means they really want to be using the charges to find these kills.
Well, I think he needs buyback primarily. The biggest part...
He should have enough buyback. It'll be close, but it won't take him long to farm the next level of buyback.
I really don't feel it's about the purges. It's all about the feedback here. That's going to be how he tries to counter out the Morphling. You take a Morphling, you take away all of his mana, and he becomes less significant of a threat. Because you take away so much extra. He can't be able to shotgun, he can't waveform away, he can't replicate. So many things that are lost to a Morphling when he has no mana. So being able to burn him out is probably going to be their best option, considering the fact that they don't have this overwhelming hold against him. They don't have any abilities that are going to go through his BKB except Ensnare. Or excuse me, they also have the slow, but you need stunts up against the Morphling, otherwise he waveforms away.
Moonlight Shadow's being used. They're running up the mid, however the tether hits the creep wave. No ping came out from that, but they're definitely moving in a defensive manner. But now, look for that Blink Lasso, they jump in, the Lasso is over on Brax. They get rid of the Nyx Assassin, and now EG come through with all of their DPS. Over to 1-4-3-7. The buyback again is now with the second one for Brax during this game. It's backing up, they got 2 kills. They did trigger off a lot of their stuff. The BKB's now all on cooldown. So they just back up, especially with Naga doing her thing on the bottom lane. PPD comes down. Now he nightmares the real one. The diffuser blade's already been used, takes it off with the illusion, but now the Fiend's Grip, it goes over on Sneaking. Relocate in. They have more than enough damage to get through this Naga, and they get her. 80 seconds on the sideline. PPD will die, however, to the Naga illusions, which means the gem has to be picked up by somebody else, which isn't Wisp, who relocates back to Roshan. EG try and go in and take Roshan while Naga... Actually, wait, what?
Instant
buyback.
Instant buyback.
They are not letting him have Roshan.
No, they can't afford to. They know that the reason that they were able to make a comeback so far was because Evil Geniuses made some big mistakes.
But if he dies again, that's a huge amount of time on the sidelines.
Well, it's an all-in. Like, they know, like, where do you build a Naga Siren from here? You can't do anything with this extra gold. Like, the only hero that can really do a whole lot, and it's the only thing I'm actually disappointed here for North American Rejects, is they don't put more time into the Disruptor farm. That would make a difference going into the late game. Every other hero that builds into some sort of item, it has a minimal effect. Aghanim's upgrade on a Disruptor means they can lead with Sleep and kill the Morphling with it, because then he wouldn't be able to BKB. The only save at that point would be Morphling somehow survives through all of that, or Zai comes in and saves him with the relocate. But if you have an Aghanim's upgrade, it basically forces another move out of Evil Geniuses.
A small thing for sneaking, he was doing something very, very wise. Sent the illusions down the mid lane. Universe, oh, he's BKB as a trigger. Is he just going to try and lasso and drag it back? You bet you Nelly. Arrows flying out, it connects on Fox. E-Blade being used to try and bring down Fox as well. Actually, not even the E-Blade. That was just the adaptive strike. They move up, now they can go for 1-4-3-7. E-Blade is still available here. 1-4-3-7. Will they please? Thank you. Hit him up.
Snaking.
Yep.
Middle lane.
Got the Fiend Strip off, relocate in, and the Morphling comes to join him. This could actually be the GG fight right now. 13!
Oh, he ticks out!
The Wisp, he was in close enough, he gets the kill. The relocate takes him back up again, but now EG will go down middle lane.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
1 minute and basically 40 seconds, Naga Siren's on the sidelines for 44 minutes into a game because of a so quick buyback. H-Snap Apparition, one blast will slow them down, but it's going to split themselves up. They're in deep, and look at Morphling, straight to the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane. Let the rest of your team deal with the tier 3 tower in mid. Now the North American rejects, they've only got 2 heroes, and they're split between 2 lanes. They can't defend this now. They will lose 2 sets of Raxes.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's probably going to be the GG call here, because you still have 60 seconds. They can easily take the throne.
Look at him, he's going for the tier 4 towers.
Yeah, and it's only up to like Korok is your main damage dealer now. Viper is not strong 45 minutes in. Like, you are an Aghanim's upgrade. You are spamming your ultimate. That
Lasso dragging back Korok. And, well, they just keep bringing down the tier 4 towers. The BKB was triggered off by the Morphling. He's got Lincoln Sphere protecting him as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Ability to
attack.
initiate in here is just non-existent. And, well, jump out by Brax. He's got a double stun. And now, well, Nightmare on the Morphling. He's in a lot of trouble. They kill off the Morphling, and Universe isn't looking too healthy, but the lead down by the BK beat up Mirana, just ripping into 1-4-3-7. And the Fortress is open. The buyback and BT's back in by the Morphling, so Arteezy's back here to finish the job. And GG for game number 2. So EG will keep their ESL 1 hopes alive. After they were slapped down royal by the North American rejects, they kicked back here in game number 2, force it to a 3rd game, a deciding matchup. Who will advance themselves through to face up against, well, who that'll be in the finals. It could be Team Liquid. It could be our other, actually I think the second semi-finalist, yeah, it's still